Knives Out Wake Up Dead Man is so freaking close to being my favorite in this trilogy. Rian Johnson just gave us our third installment into the Knives Out franchise with Wake Up Dead Man with an absolutely star-studded ensemble of a cast. In that cast, not only do we have Josh O'Connor and Daniel Craig at the helm of the film, but we also have Josh Brolin, we have Jeremy Renner, we have Mila Kunis, we have Kerry Washington, we have Glenn Close, so many more. Essentially in this whodunit film, we have Josh O'Connor's character kind of as our lead, and he has a very troubled past and he turns to the priesthood in order to correct his wrongs and live a life of good. That is, until you guessed it, we have another murder mystery and we got to figure out who did it. Unlike most reviews, I don't want to get too much into the plot points or talk about what actually happened. I want to leave that up to complete interpretation of everybody who watches it. But I gotta say, I highly recommend that everybody goes and sees this because it is so close to being my favorite Knives Out film. And there's just a couple of reasons why it's not. Starting out with my first reason, I think that this cast is absolutely amazing when you look at all the names that are involved in the film. And when they're on the screen with Daniel Craig or Josh O'Connor, it's great. But when those two aren't on the screen, it's not a whole lot there. I would also say that my second gripe or complaint that's not really a huge deal, but it kind of does hinder the performance for me is that Daniel Craig's character doesn't really even show up until about 45 minutes in, so the pacing struggles a little bit without him. But with that, we did get a lot of backstory on our characters and get a lot of dialogue from them on why they turned to the church and why they are all in this small town. I also like how this Knives Out film is a lot darker than our other two that we got with Knives Out, which was really funny. We had Knives Out Glass Onion, which I think is actually better than what most people say. I think it's above average, but it's far from great. The approach that we get in Knives Out Wake Up Dead Man is very dark. We don't get a lot of those comedic elements, and it is very deep and layered in this film. There's also a lot of religious elements that take place in the film and why people are turning to the church and why they are expressing their faith the way that they are. And I really did like that darker approach to the film. And I think that after I rewatched this maybe one or two more times, it easily could become my favorite Knives Out film. I just really enjoy the first one. I would be so happy if Rian Johnson kept pumping these things out year after year after year. I will never get tired of them. I ended up giving Knives Out Wake Up Dead Man a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and that easily could turn into a 5 by the end of this year. I highly recommend that you check it out if you have a Netflix subscription because it is absolutely amazing and you will not see any of these twists coming. I don't care what anybody says. I'm curious to know, out of the three, what is your favorite Knives Out film? I post film and TV show news, reviews, rankings, physical media hauls every single day on all my socials, TikTok, Letterboxd, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find everything in my bio. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that follow button and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.